Howdy nerds. So right now we're going to have a look at how the surface area to volume ratio will affect both cells and in particular our digestive system. So what's the point? Basically the point of today is we want to be able to understand the concept of surface area to volume ratio and explain why cells have such smaller size. Like this actually links to why cells are so small. Okay, so what do I need you to remember? I need you to remember that cells require nutrients and a method to remove the byproducts or the waste. The digestive system is in place to allow us to absorb nutrients into the body. Okay, so that makes sense. And the cells in the digestive system pretty much absorb nutrients through their surface. Okay, so the surface area, you can already see it's coming into play. Okay, so what is the surface area to volume ratio? Basically, it's the amount of area on the outside of an object compared to the volume on the inside. Now, biologically, it's often necessary for this ratio to be as large as possible, so to have as much surface area for as small a volume as possible. Why would that be the case? Well, basically, when it comes to biology, usually we are absorbing materials through the surface. There's no like little doors or whatnot for stuff just to come through. It generally comes through the surface. So here's a quick example of it. Alright, so here we have a surface area of 6 to 1. So we've got a 1 millimeter cube across, so which means it's 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. So the surface area is 1 by 1 times 6. So that's 6 millimeters squared. Its volume, however, is 1 times 1 times 1. And this makes it a volume of 1 millimeter cubed. So if we go to our 2 millimeter cubed, we've got 2 squared, okay, so that's 4 times 6, right, that's 24 millimeters squared, but our ratio, our volume is 2 by 2 by 2, so there's 8 millimeters cubed. So if we've gone from a 6 to 1 to a 3 to 1, so here, for every 1 millimeter cubed, we've got 6 square millimeters of surface area to pump stuff into. And here, for every 1 millimeter cubed of volume, we've got 3 millimeters squared of surface area to pump stuff into. Now, here we see what our digestive system looks like in the intestine if we break it down into smaller and smaller sections. So you can see the inside of the intestine is not a smooth tube. It's actually this loops like this, right? So and that's increasing the surface area. So because of this, instead of just having a flat surface area there, you've got the flat surface area plus either side of the loop, either side of the loop, either side of the loop. So the surface area increases. And here, if we go to the actual villi, which is just here, we see that the same thing happens again. So instead of just having the flat surface along this area here, we've got the large villi. So instead of just having this surface area, we've also got this surface area, this surface area, and this surface area. And if we zoom in again onto the epithelium, which is the outer cells, we can see that we've even got microvilli. So instead of just having this outer area here, we've also got these areas in between. So basically biology has worked very, very hard to maximize the surface area to volume ratio. This is why cells are so small. If cells were super large, you would not be able to get enough nutrients in or out to support the cell. Hope that made sense, and we'll see you in class.